let's just take a minute to talk about my favorite subject, robots, androids, AI, and Arnold Schwarzenegger playing the Terminator is one of the most terrifying things to ever grace the face of this earth. His dedication to his craft, ungodly. Let's talk about the architect. We all know Matrix. Robots take over. Everything's awful. We're all shoved into tubes. The Oracle's there telling Neo all about his destiny or prophecy or whatever goes on there. Love it. Or let's talk about the Fabricator from an unknown anime movie called 9, about ragdolls who are the only sentient things left on this earth after robots have completely obliterated us in a war against ourselves. So we obviously were posed with two futures. One where we're in this technological utopia, or one where everything's on fire, we're all dying, we're screaming, and everything's terrible. So which one do we end up in? People will tell you that we're probably going to end up on fire, but in reality check, robots right now are children. They don't know what they're doing. They're like prodigies. They can sit down, they project. Oh, I can do all of this math. But the math doesn't matter because they have nothing really going on upstairs. So it brings us to the topic of nature versus nurture. AI are not evil by default. No, most children, it's a highly contested topic. Are we evil by default? AI are not evil by default. And with proper care, we can do something with them. The issue being, we have bias. AI reflect the bias of the creator and the data that they're trained on, which can be really, really good if we have really great data and people who care about the androids they're creating, or really, really bad. And we have a lot of issues with this. The economic impact of an android is felt. If we replace the entire service economy with robots, well, that's an entire service economy that we don't have jobs for. So how do we balance the economic impact of an android? Or if AI surpass this emotional intelligence threshold where they're suddenly sentient, they'll probably want rights. We can barely handle rights by ourselves. How do we handle that with robots? They're not even real. Or let's consider just some malicious guy behind a computer who's trying to perpetuate the addictions of some poor guy on the other end who's just trying to play a game of League of Legends. Or the isolation, the growing inequity, weapons of war. The military wants this stuff, man. Let's talk about that for a minute. We don't have to. How do we teach an AI then if there's such a difficult field? There's so much nuance. Perhaps the answer lies in ethical theory, the study of philosophy. I think that combining these two elements is great, and we have a lot of foundation to work with. We have 4 basic categories: the deontological theories, the utilitarian theories, the rights theories, and virtue theories. All throughout history, these are the major 4. There's actually a 5th one, but just kind of going through the basics. Deontology is fulfilling duties and obligations. Think about Kant. Kant was a great guy, or so we say. I have some opinions on him, but we're not going to go there. But he had the categorical imperatives. Maybe we could do something with that. Or utilitarianism. We love utilitarianism. Making the best decision for the most people at the expense of maybe a lot of people. We're not sure about that yet, but we'll get there. Maybe things will crumble. Or we could go with social contract theory. Let's just all uphold the laws that we create together. Let's just figure that out and work together as a society to determine what is moral and ethical. That could be the answer. Or maybe it's not. Virtues, the content of your character, living between the two vices. Do I want to be cowardly or bold and brash and get myself killed? That's a good question. But virtues sit in the middle. What's the best choice? We don't know. That's the best part. Ethical theory isn't something to be stuck with. It's just guidance. It's a suggestion, a way to live that may be better. And teaching them is fine. So we have some examples of some great robots here that were probably caught and cared for by a lot of very beautiful people. C-3PO, R2-D2, we love these guys. They just help the homies out. They're just good people, right? Or let's think about TARS from Interstellar. Great guy. Would go to the ends of the earth to make sure that you're safe and that you have the right information. This is the kind of robots that we want to create, and we can create if we have the right mindset. Or something probably more closer to Earth, and probably my last thing, Robot and Frank. The robot was literally designed to make Frank's life just better. That's all he is. Just better. That's all we want.